Forget square foot gardening. I'm going square inch. I'm going to put all of these and a few more into a 4 foot by 4 foot bed.
Here's one for dreamers who took that step. Here's one for every time they jumped without a net. Here's one for misfits who broke the rules.
So I put all these logs down here. I got a lot of branches. I filled it up maybe halfway to the wood frame here. And now I'm going to go get some dead grass that we pulled, some weeds. I'm going to pile a little bit of layer of that in here. Now the next step would be to take this sod that I pulled off the top with the grass on it still and put it in here kind of upside down to give me more of a base of dirt. We put all that sod back on there. We're pretty full on this thing. I'm gonna pour that dirt I put over in the wheelbarrow over top of it, and we'll see how far that gets us, but we might have to add any more to this. So this is my urban hugelkultur bed. Cost me a total of about $6. I bought that board, made what, 4 cuts on it, and screwed it together with some screws that I already had. So I don't know what the total cost would be, maybe $8. But if you're looking to make raised beds in your yard and you're not sure of a good way to do it, this hugelkultur method is really good. Good, almost frosty morning from the Citystead. I am Josh. This is the Citystead. We grow a bunch of food here on our half-acre city lot. Today I want to show you micro garden. You can see it down here. I started planting it out, and the whole idea of this video is I'm trying to make basically the food forest principles but in a much smaller space and using only vegetables. So this bed right here is 4 foot by 4 foot, and I do have a cattle panel trellis on it, and that is to help maximize all of our growth that we can get out of this tiny little bed. If you're unfamiliar with a food forest is the idea of all the different layers of a forest working together. So you think about the forest, it has a lot of different layers and stories to it. There's an over canopy, which is all of your tallest trees, all the way down to a ground cover, which is just the stuff that's very low, covers all the surface of the soil. And that's what I'm trying to use, but with vegetables.
More than scorn or ridicule. You're scared to fly in the endless sky when the voices say that there's no way you'll ever make the grade. Let's say you try and you fall from high. When the sun is set, will you regret the fall or the times you did nothing at all? Here's one for magic that lives within, for seeing beauty in the commonest of things. Here's one for passion without restraint.
So the way I've set this up is that I use that cattle panel to create my overstory, the very top layer of everything going on. And then I'm going to try to grow things that would grow in different heights inside of that to fill up all that space so that we are not wasting any space in the ground or vertically. So while doing this, one of the things that I do is I try to start some of these bigger plants a little bit earlier, and then I put them in place before I start working on like kind of my ground cover type stuff. So let's talk about the different layers that I'm trying to work on. So over here I have some beans, And these are good because they're going to help replenish that nitrogen back to the soil. We're going to need a lot of nitrogen because this bed is going to have a lot of stuff sucking a lot of good nutrients out of there, and nitrogen is definitely going to be one of the big ones we need to feed back into it. Next to it, I have a couple acorn squash. I'm doing those because they're kind of longer storage shelf life stuff, so they're going to all grow up over top of this cattle panel trellis here, along with the spaghetti squash we got over there. It just adds a different kind of squash to us, a different flavor. We're going to do 2 cucumbers right in this space here, and those are all going to grow up this and create that overstory that we need.
What are you scared of losing? If you don't try, you'll fail every time. You're scared to fly in the endless sky, when the voices say that there's no way you'll ever make the grade. Let's say you try and you fall from high. When the sun is set, will you regret the fall, or the times you did nothing at all?
So for me, the next layer, trying to find that something that goes right underneath the overstory of our forest, that's been the hardest part. So I'm growing okra, and I got 4 little okra plants in here, and 4 okra plants will actually produce quite a bit of okra. So if you're a smaller family, or if you just have a really tiny yard, maybe you just have a very small space you can use, that's something that produces a lot there. So, and they grow pretty tall usually, so they should be somewhere around, you know, the top, toward the top of this food forest, but not actually overpowering the panels. And then the next layer down after that is going to be like peppers and tomatoes. So I got 1 tomato here, so I got 1 tomato here, and I got another tomato here. I'm doing 2 different kinds of tomatoes. I'm doing a big slicer tomato and a cherry tomato. And that's just to kind of create a little bit more flavor. You could use slicers for different things, you can use your cherry tomatoes for different things. Hopefully the cherries will produce a ton. That's kind of like your salad, because this would basically be geared a lot toward type of salad type meals, because we're going to grow a lot of lettuce and greens kind of as our understory, as our floor of our food forest. So another thing I think is important to add in here is something like herbs. So right now we have 1 basil in here, but I will add a couple other things, maybe like a parsley, something like that. Something maybe that can kind of flow over toward the side, kind of grow like a vine almost, like a thyme. So there's a lot of different things we can put in here. It's just about deciding which one I really want to use. Alright, so Oz and I planted most of this stuff out just the other day. So today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on planting what's going to be our ground cover, the low growing stuff, things that we're going to grow underneath the tomatoes, underneath the peppers. And what we're going to do is trim those tomatoes, lower leaves and peppers, to try to allow more space for all that lower stuff to grow in there. So I'm going to go pick what we're going to use to put all in there, and we'll come back to it and start planting. All right. Oh, you guys can't see it. There you go. So this is the bed now, planted out. I put all of these seeds, a little bit of them in there. A lot of climbing stuff, a lot of different height, different variances. So there's a ton of stuff jam-packed in here. We're talking eggplants, collards, lettuce, arugula, there's Malabar spinach, there's cucumbers, zucchinis, just anything and everything basically in there. It's jam-packed. So we started doing this last year. We had some really decent results out of it. I was kind of surprised. So I really wanted to explore further this year and just try to jam-pack a little bit more. I want to basically, you know, have every surface of this covered in food. I'm talking about from all the way down here all the way to up there. I just want it all to be a solid bed of food. So if you are interested in this and seeing how it does, stay tuned, because I will be doing updates kind of regularly on it. Probably, you know, it'll be every 2 weeks or so, because it's not going to grow super fast in the beginning, but then after we get into it, I'm going to really start showing you what it's been doing, what it's producing, and you know, we'll see what it does. You know, we got a little bit out of it last year. It didn't get too bad. You know, we started it super late. But this year I think we're going to get on it really early here, and I think this is going to be a super successful bed, and we are going to get massive harvests out of it. So stay tuned, check out more of the micro bed, and I'm going to try to help you guys maximize growing. But that's all I got for you right now. Remember guys, be bold and grow bold, and as always, we'll see you in that very next video. Say bye.